Alright, so I'm realizing now, the first day that I had allocated time out to film, that it actually wasn't enough time, and that sun actually went down before I could finish the roll. So I actually ended up finishing up the portra later in the week. Actually, no, I finished it up on some wedding stuff. I went to one of my buddy's weddings and took a bunch of photos there. So I loaded up some colorplus and just riding around, which kind of explains why I'm out of breath. And just shooting some shots because it needed some more shots. When I originally shot the portrait, there wasn't enough to really make a whole video. So I just loaded up some colorplus and just shooting it out. Alright, so I wanted to add some footnotes here to kind of explain some more about the photos and kind of talk about which ones were my favorite and why. So jumping right into the first one, it's the motel shot. Growing up, I always thought the motel was interesting because it's just kind of placed in the middle of downtown. And when I was growing up, it was actually a motel and people would come and stay for events that the city was having. But as I got older, it got more run down and people just started living in it like apartments. And it's always been kind of interesting for me to watch it devolve into like low-income apartments. So specifically this photo I really like because of all the small details, I think. The first thing I noticed right away is the guy sitting up on the second floor, sitting kind of in the shade. When I was shooting the photos, he was just staring at me, and if you zoom in close enough, you can see that he is looking at me. I also really like how the door on the left of him is cracked open. It just gives more of a sense of depth to the photo, and I don't know, it's just more interesting to me. I also really like the mid-90s style minivan parked in the center, and the 7-Up machine on the right side that also looks like it's from like 1997. I don't know, I just think the whole photo has a cool aesthetic to it, and the composition and colors just complement that. Okay, the next photo is actually a set of photos of the old man fishing. I was just skating around the park pretty much after the sun had went down, trying to squeeze the last out of the film I had before there was no daylight and I would have to shoot flash. At this moment, I literally had thought there wasn't going to be enough light to shoot any more photos, so I was basically just starting to head back home, and then randomly just saw this guy fishing and thought it was perfect. Thankfully, I actually snuck up on him and was able to take like 3 or 4 photos before he actually noticed me. It was kind of a cool moment to see him turn back through the viewfinder, take the photo, and then for him to just carry along. This photo is the thumbnail photo I actually used. It's actually a small piece of a larger photo, but I just cropped it in because I really like the harsh silhouetted, almost looks like it's cut out of the photo, lines of the telephone pole and the wires. The colors aside, because obviously the color gradient from a light violet to a deeper purple is beautiful. The telephone wires just remind me a lot of like home, like you know, a small Midwest town, which is what I grew up in. So I just think that there's kind of a nostalgic vibe to it, and I really dig it. So that's gonna finish up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Me and my friends have been working really hard on making a bunch of new videos, kind of cataloging stuff. So expect much more content coming soon. And that's the spiel. Peace.